It doesn't matter that I already ate more than I wanted. I finish it all. Just to know, on this night before the decades last, for once a taste equal to the savagery of my moods, the present sadness, the folly of the past, meet and commingle like two drugs in my belly's black. Wingspan exceeds hanger. La mordida, inchmeal toll. Microclimate days through. Not visibly labyrinth jalk. His bottled missives bobbing, just offshore and staying, smirking. I lit 4 candles to remember a moonshard dawn by, and wrote to break Omerta, which responded with a pink-purple warm, far too warm for the clothes I had donned. Talk about juxtaposition. Every poem, the last poem, I write for you, amethyst, skull in the closet, an heirloom I keep madly fitting faces to, mingle our pisses in the public pot. Never use the stairs when you can climb. Tonight my heart is a rotten plank I dare not venture out upon, till buzzard's dawn finds me again a blank. Tonight my heart is a rubber check in a ringing midnight gun report, an empty court having a broken neck. Tonight I will not answer the phone, however long it tries to warble. My heart's turned marble, and I want to be alone. Tomorrow, though, I may despise his uncreated bitterness, as stars progress in a skeptic's starless skies. Fog of my days lifted, pang. Pale drift across black back window of the bus ahead suddenly evokes memories of smoke and morning dark woods in a lifetime ago religion. Unsober scythe dance. In a somber season when swart was the sun, there many tithes of peacocks foregathered. A sandpit conventicle I soared with, dreaming in sober scythe dance steps, alone and toward a loner bent. That season which taught me witness to suffering, which brought me to reason. I can think it now,
I'm recording,
as I could not then, being part of the pinnacle I long to eloign from. This excess of excess seeing. Nazi Yahtzee. Ejaculate into your porridge. Say it takes strength not to vote Republican. Blend the brownish green of heel-all, the greenish white of its undecaying berries. Observe the windmill shadow. Count yourself lucky to be blind. Update on a cane toad slime licking problem. And if I did nothing today, what would be wasted? A chance at the big time, a fruit not tasted. Taught with a creeping illness, I hear the drills and hammers of construction through many walls. All that I started to say dissolves into song. Fever and something like prayer drag me along. If this is lot acceptance, I don't want it. I moved out of the last house I found thus haunted. So he and his bootless love continued traking, one barking at the other, their yoke quaking. The dawn eclipsed by longing, monotony like a drunkenness I am angry to be rid of. This senseless banging my days of being sick gave me refuge, stupors, beguiling aches. Now I am desperately bored with my 3 reactions, my 4 choices, and with all the limited hopes of an age before bronze. No return of bunny sleep. I heard a commotion in the courtyard, so I rolled out of bed and peered through the slanted blinds. Right beside my window, 2 young lovers, happily drunk, the world forgotten, were laughing and swaying together in the golden midnight. Oh God, why wake me for this, I thought. Why not the ceiling caving in? Paradoxical compass. How many savage enchantments I have known since I first unstopped my ears, I cannot say. Sometimes I dream I'm already free to go, then wake in ropes and paralytic pain. Over and over, I only keep the scars. This record, which is legend and despair. A candle's many flames, its waxen slouch, negligently inform each other. The stars are something else again. It isn't fair, it isn't clean. Jingle-janglingly I vouch, only for the shrapnel stipend, as if I won among bullseyes, though others otherwise may for a season collect, and still I pray to. So, you see to what mixed metaphors I am vain. Scenes from the discarnate world. I am myself becoming what I mourn. Earth and the death of animals. Dreams and their 1,000 intricate refusals. Love and the fear of love. No unicorn has died on the streets this morning, closed by floods, and birds sing, greening now amid the gray, hardly a cloud in the sky. I'd count the buds, with only positives, lest doubt destroy what doubt built, castle of tomorrow, a barking in a chilly wind. The bloods, inflamed, de-whisk, even as flows its sorrow, or storms augment and creek defiles too narrow. I am that unicorn. Let the gray strand receive what the gray-green hands destroy. Any one thread ravels the whole. Cupid, that maker of human candles, I saw across the moon last night, black like a bat, except rounder and tumbling in flight. I paused over another poem's unwriting and pondered the portent silently. What's it to me if someone on this night will sleep no more? I finished unwriting the poem I had started and went to lie down and lay there lidless till dawn in a bowl I'd worn smooth like the pit of an avocado. The spurious elements. Out of the mouth of the sky in the hands of the wind fell this thought at my feet. Not castle walls that weather fend, but clouds in which even the storm rings sweet, or where we dream to dwell. The return of the whimsical food characters. I found myself thirsting for silence, the silence of the prairie between interstates. I felt it frozen with the impact of absolute sunshine, till I couldn't bear any more not to go there, and left the door hanging wide. Now I'm a pilgrim who feeds from the way. Thesaurus Rex. Stars, chores, polishing the nameplate on my casket. What am I doing this weekend? I'm not asked. This is only a poem. Obsess on the lack of obsessions, maybe. That's always a good one. Yesterday I felt equal to it. Ingrate. Now it's only so many staples in my weakened state to have to remove, and so much form to repudiate, straining dishwash for the baby. This is the plan, not till the war be won, of chores into stars, not until I know I'm wrong. Let something try to grow before I wreak bonsai on the void so gnarly. June 10th, 1990. 10/18/93. Vague Foyer. Distances I never chose, and those to come, converge together where I stand, abandoned and dumb. The birds sing shrill and very loud in a crowded tree. I wonder what it takes to cure Vague Foyer. Distances I never chose, and those to come, converge together where I stand, abandoned and dumb. The birds sing shrill and very loud in a crowded tree. I wonder what it takes to cure futurity that sings within my bloodstream like a psychic gale, and yet allows no single bare air to prevail. So I remain in cobble whims of crimson from distances I never chose, and those to come. Protocols of Phobos. When love was a stranger, I wanted knowledge. I enrolled in that college of perfect danger. Love became my familiar and all its angels. I kept love's vigils through feast and failure. Now love and I dwell in separate chambers, and neither remembers how this thing befell. That morning of the jazz ethos. Well past meridian, yet my room still rumbles over and over as the cars on their relentless courses rage. Desire gums, a dry bone, blind. To have to watch is terrible, and I am watching all the time. But now I try to focus inly. Something beautiful is threatening to happen, something powerful, strange. It seems that these endless nights permute and last into a pattern of unlocking, where I'd assume lay naught but weary mocking, and hope is dead within me to believe it. That I once dared to pray this simplest thing, outrageous and impossible, only to be made a little happy for a little while. The call up. With this pathetic flesh, I tip the candle, awake so I can watch it dwindle, ash of stars that I am, who will then extinguish another shadow by means of a poem's new window upon my anguish open. I don't believe in death. I'm warm and hungry tonight, but I remember sometimes my faith that I have died before as I have known love's storm, more times than I can now number. Last of the shape changes. There are those who will tell you only shrieks are speech, or only needlework, or only a fused glass beach. These words I save from the shipwreck of time, arrayed them across my desk in various orders. kick I left them. They proceeded to Malison. Now everyone bows to the giddy new thing. Microclimb. The ice daily freezes over, and as daily must be broken anew. Unseen the ice, and invisible its spiders, but tiny black ants devour a roach as I watch. A Tupperware massacre. Flowers of loss, flowers of futility, flung into a drawer, not forgotten. Dried, freeze-dried emotion, pellets, anyway odorless. Names in my book of shadows, children sleeping, heads down, in the back of the schoolroom. Cutting costs is project's purpose. Years of the stone routine of my own recession into another form than what I reckoned would be the wave of the future. From my old innocence that drew straight lines, that never wanted to go in circles, lost for years at a time. The pear poet. These cures of little avail, I'll wave away, skeeters. I'll change my life. Only give me one more suicide. An afternoon, 6 months long, gecko and the flies defeated. Starless voluptuary. 3 ways I do not love you, ghost of 1,000 faces. When you blind me to who's there, when you lure me where there isn't, when you torment me for not having what I can't. Thanatopsis. A jet same size as the bird, only their motions distinguish. Love, despair. Nidor of sagas for Odin. Orison of the salamanders. Albino wolves drowse tonight, albino wolves. Succeeding waves on a beach of black glass whose pauses extend from the start of my life to its end. Albino wolves drowse, rabbits dig. Madness is the promised land sometimes, and when it digs all the way through to here, I sit and cannot say a thing among thousands of blind hands. Albino wolves. Allotropes of reason. Winter rose of the 2 alike keys. I always choose the wrong one first. Pain of waiting rose. I walk past without a glance. I belong in this winter garden. Weekend warriors. This wall visible from the moon, who will know I made my part of it any better than the rest? Late afternoon, sometimes I suspect its purpose isn't even to be visible from the moon. Hydrargarum. Pale blue shining in a ditch, brokenly between 2 lanes of blacktop. I stare at it as the bus waits for a break. There is nothing else to do. Traffic here narrows 2 lanes to 1, and I ride this way twice daily. Sky I should have memorized by now, except the eyes that scan it keep changing. The 10,000 movements I repeat are no match for the tide of moods. Clear patch in a black pane, pale blue shining in a ditch. Barren samadhi. The I thing, a shadow cast on all your passages, on all your restings. You ignore it, it doesn't go away, and its hoodings don't even leave promises. To sit and watch it only is even harder. A crow will come calling and try to distract you. The crow will wheel and vanish into the sun with one last croak, and that is the promise you seek. Lose your fingers for a dime. Lost in the gerbil lottery, my sense of position. Low pelican says so much that I would rather not write, but listen, and yet I need this to shine into all my dark corners and webs. I need this to teach me something I have not yet armored against. Mission. Feather, wing me back across the sear miles, buzzard's tail rift, not easily to ride in my hand. Every border admits me through this, the 9 worlds is one. Raggeder and raggeder, all I require is your final accompaniment, some scant leagues further. I'm not greedy of suitcases more. Only wing me home, and thence to my heart's desire. You'll be more famous than the golden bough. Unvolition Shinju. 1. The gray of the morning is my crimson and scarlet desire. The gray of the sidewalk, my orange and auburn despair. I'm giddy with turning all the golds of my life into lead, like the spray of the tide mock, for a moment illumined and hid. 2. I thought to recover from my dreams and my radical cark by finding a lover as weary as me of the dark, of promiseless vistas, while the tears of a candle embark. Then freeze earthly justice would reward the one who's the narc. But nothing is finished with an answer sufficiently stark, just wanly diminished at the limits of vision a spark. One breath may replenish, one moment at solstice, one rainfall recover the sense of the work. Never a serenity to clasp more than a bird's shadow, never a certainty to hold more than a cloud's. These things he knows are someone else's, heirlooms, alien, fossil frail, are not what he would choose to impart to a spacecraft leaving the solar system. Shadow on him, shadow on her, first program the occasion. If not, the black fireworks wasted. If so, she beyond irony of to know. Or I could just send this poem to the White House. See, you play with toys too big, what hap may befall. Sonic icons. That liquid cough. I cringe inly for the millionth time, hearing in it the sick child, ignorant of remedy, the unloved adult without hope of succor, and pathetic slave, fearful of reprisals for a day's absence. Umbrageous meatwood entanglement, sidebar of the main hornada, well to learn to squeak through a narrowing patetch. Leave all that junk behind. I have left it, now I go where narrowness itself is too lavish. Or I stare through Polaroid what I have come so far to intersect. I was the mute encroachment of the ravenwood. Jasper says, I am immortal. This body, no better and no worse than any other body, will return to the common clay bin. Not a crumb will be wasted, while you, cherisher of forms that never before existed, your own limitation, are doomed to disperse utterly. You only had contempt for the truth. Designated driver. Flower, you're a wan and aware werewolf, stares into your stark gulf, as though their hieroglyph revealed the hidden plaintive. Flower, you're a wan and aware werewolf, himself against makes war, whose software spites his hardware. Thus, as I pour, I despair. Iconostasis. For this performance, I keep the curtain closed. Over and over, they play the national anthem. Cries and a spattering of blood escape from behind a curtain. Letter received at the front. Weeks while the dream of love expires, weeks while the dream of death expects, mind creates what world corrects. Like bat, the sphinx-like question leaps. Burning all around in Mardi Gras, Laughter ascends in the morning gray, where I wonder if today will bring me closer to my word. News repeats like a circling fly. What can I do but turn it on, seeing that something in the dawn is poking its gleeful nail? Lonelier through the blinds I peer at saffron and a ragged edge of blue. I stand upon a ledge 30 years long and 1 foot wide. Sweet morning bus cough, a bird caged by those ribs, battering the bars at every quick spasm. Sing what you know and can alone tell, that other land you yearly visit, gray like this one this morning, but unwavering in its grayness. Necronomicon. Rogue button to last of the spidery suspensions. A roar softly approaching, gathering, all at once engulfs, then surf subsiding. It would be like this if I could know it. It takes many years to unfurl. Not a mosaic, a litter of gravel, a reed stone by stone in flicker light. Ask me how I came to trust nothing. On the work of the artist Bush. Landscape sculpture had fallen into desuetude, seldom remembered and seldomer practiced. Bush changed all that. Single-handedly he has revived this art of bomber arrays, sorties, and craters. It may well be that all the best work was of generation past, which Bush's modesty forces him to acknowledge. By subtle illusions, the single targeting of an air raid shelter for civilians, maybe a suburb or 3. Still, within the limits of this exorbitant inflation, it can be said that the work of Bush has few equals and none superior. He carries the laurels of a decadent age. Smiting the infidel. 10 hours of black rain. In a third part of the nation became J. Edgar Hoover. Frogs vanished. In a third part of the nation misplaced their tongues. Potholes sprouted everywhere. In a third part of the nation got on their knees and stayed there. He stands rebuked. I am one of the refugees on foot on the thronged road out. Not a general, not a soldier, nor even one who understands what pride I have had not to have seen this sooner. Pillbug on the gray linoleum. Persistent vegetative state, my love, my destiny sleeping amidst blue flames, my drastic rescuer curled in a coma, dreaming these somber days I stumble through. I damn this world as second-rate handiwork. If I could once forget you are possible, you're at arm's length shining, your ambuleth uncle promised restitution. Curse God dying. But hope, the carrot and the stick at once, denies such easy quietus. 13 mountains I climb, each bigger than the last, in search of you who've slept through it all, like a cat on a sofa, whiskers a-twitch, lids fluttering. A breath would awake you.